It's season 4, episode 17. Here we are at the Blue Monkey Quarantine. Yeah, the only business is monkey business. I know, I'm getting ahead of myself. Paul, what's going on? There's a lot going on. I mean, we had, what do we have? Kentucky Derby, Springs here, but it's Mother's Day. And I have got the Mother's Day drink, the mother of all Mother's Day. Shall we do this is the third Mother's Day that we've done at the quarantine cocktail.
No.
Third one.
Really?
We've done, going back in time, oh gosh, I'm going to say that, and then I don't know if I can remember. The first one we did, I know, was the Bellini. Peach Bellini. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that one?
Yes.
The second one was, what was the other Mother's Day? It'll come to me. I can't remember. Do you remember?
Not at all.
Last year. Anyway, this year I've got it though. I've got it in the bag. This year, it is the Viking Quest. Yeah, what screams louder than Mother's Day than a Viking cocktail? Truth be told, this is really for my mom. Since I'm a Viking, that means my mom's a Viking. It's the only way you become a Viking, folks. So come on in. Let me give you some Viking history. Talk about Viking moms and Blue Monkey Quarantine stuff, all that. Come on in, folks. Let's have a cocktail. Are you ready? Only business, monkey business. Here we go. Oh, there we go. Puppy, how are you, sir? Oh, he's good. All right, here we go. Are we live?
We are live.
We're live? Should I stop drinking?
Yes, stop drinking.
Producers told me to stop drinking. Folks, here we are. Yes, I said mead. Paul, how in the world... Oh, I didn't say mead yet. Folks, tonight it's all about mead. Yes, it's a... Sorry, I'm here. I'm squeaking. It is a mead cocktail. How do I... Folks, this is... I know I'm stretching here. But here's what I can tell you. How many people have ever heard or said, I really need my mommy right now?
Did you say mead your mommy?
Mead my mommy. Yeah, yeah. See how I got there? It was that quick. Mead my mommy. I really need my... No, that's not it. So, we're talking about mead.
Did your mom text you when she got home?
She did. She made it. She's safe. So, Mom was here. She visited. And it was an awesome thing. We got to hang out. Took moms out. My mom, Shelby's mom, for dinner. One thing my mom brought me a gift. Okay, it was a Christmas gift. We hadn't seen each other in a while. We exchanged...
But she said that there's a Danish saying about Christmas until April.
That's right. So we snuck it in.
Yeah.
Not really. Close.
She said,
Close. Anyway, she brings me a book all about mead, right? So what is mead, Paul? Well, first of all, it's the oldest alcoholic drink in the world. So my mom obviously knows me and loves me because she's trying to teach me about the history and why alcohol is just an amazing thing. But yes, mead is the oldest alcohol in the world. What is it? It's simple. It's honey and water and yeast. And why many people believe it's the oldest alcohol in the world is because it was probably the first natural alcohol ever made, meaning it happened without anybody ever trying. Imagine this. Imagine like the year 2. And there's a stump, and it's got like some honey from a beehive that's oozed into it. Rainwater fills up the rest of the stump, and then natural yeast in the air gets in it. It sits for days and weeks, and then all of a sudden some guy goes by and obviously says, I should drink this, and he does, and it's delicious. And that is, folks, that's how mead was created. It could have been. We don't know. But the point is mead is old. Really, really old. The oldest one. And it's so simple. Honey, water, and yeast, and a stump. You don't need the stump. Now, here's what's funny about it. And it happened this evening. A lot of people are afraid of mead. And they're afraid of mead because they're like...
Your wife.
Including my wife. And they're like, oh my God, it's honey, and it's going to be too sweet. So here's the funny thing about mead. Saying you don't like mead because it's sweet is like saying you don't like wine because it's sweet, or saying you don't like beer because it's sweet.
We know your wife loves wine. wine.
Yeah, and she loves wine. Mead, it just happens to be honey-based. But mead runs from about 3% alcohol all the way up to 20-some% alcohol. And you can have anything from dry to sweet to earthy to... The point is, mead is across the spectrum. And a lot of people say, well, does it taste like wine? Does it taste like beer? No, it tastes like mead. It's its own thing, you know? Wine, grapes. Beer, barley. Hops. Mead, honey. It's its own little thing. It's its own little world. And it's amazing, and it's wonderful, and it's making a comeback. Now, how do I get to the Vikings? So, mead is said to be the drink of the Vikings. It is true. Go to Norway, go to Sweden, Denmark, back in the Viking days. Mead was their go-to. This is what they drank. This is what made you a true Viking. And again, it's because back in the 700s, this was the drink that was being made. Now, a few things. If you're going to go get yourself mead, one of the things is to make sure you get yourself a good Viking mead. Because again, there's hundreds of meads. How do you know you have a Viking mead? Pull the cork. That's a Viking mead right there. That's how it all starts. We worked for minutes on that skit. Minutes, I tell you. No, any mead is going to work for this drink. But let me give you a little history, though. So there is a lot of history to the mead back to Denmark. Specifically, I'm going to King Harold. Yeah, King Harold. The year 958. He reigned in Denmark from 958 to 986. And he was credited with, first of all, bringing Christianity. So that was a thing. But he also was a fond fan of mead. And there's a lot of things written about. And look, I'm not going to go down this, but you can go down Old Norse history, some Viking history, and you're going to start reading about the god Odin. Paul, are you talking about like Thor? Are you talking about movies? Folks, that's like real stuff. That is like, Odin was the king. We don't have time for this, but I'm just telling you, mead is part of all of it. There is actually, if you read Beowulf, and again, that was horrible stuff you had to read. If you go back, you will read part of it, and mead is talked about. Actually, I think you have to drink mead to make Beowulf any sense. For God's sakes, Paul, is there a drink tonight? Yes, there's a drink tonight, and we're going to make it right now. It's called Viking Quest, people. So, what do you need? First of all, you need 4 ounces of Viking mead. There it is, folks. Now, you're mixing this one in a glass. So you want a nice tall Collins glass, 2 of them, 1 for me, 1 for your Viking significant other. And then you're going to start. So you pour your 4 ounces of mead. There's 2. There's 2. It's a heavy 2. Hold on. Sorry, that's not going to work. I went too high. And then 2. And then 2. All right. Then you're coming in after your mead, and you're going to go with Grenadine. 1/2 ounce per. Homemade Grenadine, people. Don't go out and buy that red. Remember, it's all it is pomegranate and sugar, equal parts, and you can do this. You're a Viking, for God's sakes. You've got the ability. Then you're coming in, lemon juice, 1/2 ounce per, which we're going to say is 1/2 of a lemon. There's that one. Coming in for the other one. Boom. There's the other one. And then the last part, ginger beer. Because what says Viking more than a ginger? Right? It's ginger beer for a ginger beard. Yes, you heard it here, folks. I just made that up. And then you're going to top it off with some, that one's going to have to, all right. And we're going to give it just a bit of a, get rid of that cube, it's too much. Little stir. Garnish, of course. How about a little lemon peel? Do one. Oh, that one failed. 2. Give it a little spritz. Oh, wait, there we go. There. One there. There. And then, of course, folks, emergency. Yes, emergency. It's still part of everything. If you ever go back and you go to any of the Viking museums, you will see emergency was on every ship. That's how they got across the ocean, folks. Emergency, true Viking powder right there, emergency. And folks, there it is. That is your Viking Quest cocktail, quarantine style, of course. Now, is it good? Oh my God. Oh, so good. It reminds me back in the day when my mom would read to me. Shelby, put up that picture of my mom and I. And she would tell me the stories of Vikings and read to me and what they did, what they drank. I know this was in the in the books. Folks, there it is. To all the moms out there, the true Vikings, right? Boom. Cheers to all the moms. Now, I will say, as much as this has been fun making it in a glass, I will tell you, it is true that Vikings would have drank this out of horns. Yes, that's a true story. They also would drink it out of a stainless steel cup, which I don't have. I have a stainless steel. I have a mint julep. But they looked similar to this. Mm-hmm. But they were called a gelling cup. And the reason they were called a gelling cup is because they found these stainless steel cups, relics, in a tomb of some basically kings of, yeah, you guessed it, Denmark, in the town of Jelling, Denmark. And they named the cups gelling cups. And that is one of the other ways that the kings and all the powerful Vikings would drink their beverages of mead. Anyway, that's all I got. So, anyway, if you want to be a Viking for a day, make yourself a nice mead cocktail and raise a glass to all the moms out there. The true Vikings, because they're fighting all the time and doing all those hard things. And is that all we got? How'd we do? And for God's sakes, better call Paul. Better call your mom is what you should do tonight. For goodness sakes, if you haven't called your mom today, call your mom. Love you all. Love you, Mom. Love you, Mom. All the moms out there. Cheers. See you next week. We won't, but we'll talk about that later. Cheers. Happy Mother's Day.